Cheers. Cheers to the game. Or if you're watching this, you run a business, you know that things that just absolutely suck happen like all the time, like literally all the time. Like I've had so many bad things happen. Recently was speaking to a client of mine and it was some stupid situation. Just talked to a prospect, was going to sign up. It was perfect. And then saw typos in email, something stupid like that. He didn't want to sign. It was obviously something else, some other fear that wasn't the real thing. But all these like sucky things happen. Or I've had ad accounts get shut down. I've had social media accounts get shut down. I've had employees lie to me, or all these crazy things happen that just suck. And what I tell myself, or what I try and tell myself after each of these, is it's part of the game. It's just part of the game. All right. And there's a reason I do this. All right. If you start doing this, this will absolutely transform your business. All right. It has done that for me. So I say this, it's just part of the game, meaning, hey, if I want this amazing result in my business, if I want to have this 7-8 figure business, if I want to have this type of life that 1%, less than 1% of people get to actually experience, then I must put up with the hardships required. I must put up with the things that no one else wants to put up with. All right, same thing. If you've heard the saying, it's a feature, not a bug. All right, saying this refers to people who are constantly switching business models or business industries because they get into a business they're all excited about and they find one thing that they hate about it. They're like, well, in this business the marketing is really hard. In this business, finding talent's really hard. So let me switch to something else. And they think it's like it's just this business. They switch to another business. What happens? They find another thing that absolutely sucks. All right. There is always something that sucks in every single business model, in every single industry, in every single niche. Like it does not matter. There will always be something that sucks. It's just brutal. Like it's just not fun. And it's just part of the game. So I'm making this video because this is a huge realization. If you realize the hard thing you're going through right now, whatever it is, it's just part of the game. It's not personal. It's not going to be fun. It will just suck. It will just be brutally awful. But it's just part of the game. It's why so few people win. Just realize, think of the 0.1% of people who actually have the result that you want in business and in life. It's so few. It's 1 out of 1,000 people. Or you walk down the street. It's probably less than 1 out of 1,000, to be honest. It's probably 1 out of 10,000 or 100,000. If we're being completely honest, the exact life that you want, it's extremely, extremely rare. And so if it's extremely, extremely rare outcomes, it takes extremely, extremely rare actions to actually get there. It's cause and effect. All right, that's why the masses all kind of default to about average, and we don't really want an average life. But the big thing here, the big thing is perspective. All right, it's all about perspective. The reason I'm making this video is all about perspective. So what is this? Why am I saying this? Perspective is the way that we view the world, right? The way that we look at the world. All right. So reality, what's happening in reality is objective, right? So the sales call didn't close. The ad account was shut down. The client refunded. These objective things that just happen, you can observe it and you can write facts about it. Or if I spill my coffee right now, which I'm not going to, that would just be a fact of what happened. I spilled my coffee in my shirt. It's just a fact. It's observable. Now, the non-observable, your perspective, is 100% subjective. All right, so what does that mean? It means that you get to choose your perspective. All right, there's only so much in this life that we're in control of. We're actually in control of. And so the things that we are, perspective, we have to keep that to ourselves. We have to really take advantage of that because it's in our control. And so, for example, let me run through these examples. All right, sales call didn't close. There's different perspectives you can take on about this objective reality of this person saying no, this person not paying us money. All right, we can take on the perspective of the prospect was just not qualified. He didn't have the money. He wasn't serious. Wasn't a serious lead. We can take that perspective. What do we gain from that? Probably not too much unless the prospect truly wasn't qualified, and then maybe we need to look at our marketing side of things and qualify people better or get more qualified people in the door in the first place. All right. The other perspective we can take on is, I'm reviewing my call right now. I'm actually looking back and I see in the discovery I actually ask questions about this. I'm seeing objection handling. I actually just kind of like let this objection fly and actually overcome it. And you can take on the perspective of ownership of things that you can improve so that you can change the outcomes in the future. All right, that's a different perspective. All right, if ad account gets shut down, all right, I've had this happen to me multiple times. And so what you can do with this, you can sit on your hands and cry and just like be mad at Facebook or whatever the ad account is. Like, Meta sucks, blah, blah, blah. Like this sucks. Or if you have like a payment processor shut down, same thing. You can be like, Stripe sucks, PayPal sucks. I've heard so many horror stories about it, by the way. And it happens to a lot of people. But anyways, you can just be mad and blame the company and be a victim and be like, well, I guess I'm just going to go broke now. I guess my money's just stuck. I guess I'm just not going to get paid. Like, you could just think like that if you want to. That's a perspective you could take on. Or the perspective you can take on is, okay, well, this thing happened. It sucked. But let me go ahead. I need to find another payment processor 2 days so I can process payments and make money. All right. So that's the only perspective I think you actually should take on, because it's the only beneficial one. All right. You can also learn from your mistakes. Okay, well, we got this one dispute, which was because of this, because we weren't clear on the terms and the expectations. I mean, we let a nightmare client in the door when we shouldn't have signed them on in the first place. You can always learn from things, always. All right. So that is perspective. All right. Even if a client refunds or disputes you, you can learn from the situation, because it's either going to be like, the vast majority of times, either going to be like, number one, like a mismatch in the actual sales process, meaning, hey, expectations were not set properly, or you let just a complete nut in the door. They're just like completely crazy people who you should not sign on like ever. Or if they're giving you a ton of red flags in the sales process, you're just like, don't take their money. Like they're just going to cause way more headaches. Don't take their money. All right. Or it could be in your actual service. Maybe you're just like not good at what you're doing, and so you just need to get better. All right. So it's all feedback. All right. Look at the external things in the world as feedback. All right. It's not personal. All right, all of these things that happen are not personal. If, a prospect you're talking to just like mouths off on you, curses you out, and all these things, it's not personal. It's more like about this person. All right, it's more about the other person. And so just look at it all as feedback. Or if that behavior, if it's just one odd prospect, we don't want to pay much attention to it. If it's happening like every single sales call for some reason, that you're probably doing something weird. There's probably something you need to fix. All right, so just take it all as feedback. But that's perception. That's the power of it. It's one of the few things in this life that you are in control of. It's one of the very few rare things that we control. So we must guard it and we must take advantage of it. All right, use this to your advantage. So next time, like something crappy happens, something terrible happens, tell yourself it's part of the game. And look at it differently. Look at how you can learn from it. Look at how this can actually turn out to be a great thing for you. All right, I remember back, I don't know what was going on in my business, but it was some big problem I was facing. It was not fun. I remember just like walking through like this Publix parking lot, and I was going to like get groceries or something. I was just like thinking of business like the whole time, because we had this big problem, and it was very annoying, very frustrating. And I remember thinking to myself, basically just like thanking God for the blessing of this hardship. I'm like, hey, thank you. Like, this thing absolutely sucks, but thank you, because I'm going to like learn wisdom from it. I'm going to get better. I'm going to learn skill sets from this. I need to learn. I remember thinking that way. And after that, I started to experience breakthroughs. I started to learn things. I started to actually get better and solve the problem. All right, you need to look at things differently. You need to. It's the only way you're going to win. All right, perspective. So that's the video. Hope this video helped. Really like do this. Start doing this. Start thinking of things differently. Start looking at things differently, and it will absolutely change the way that you act and in turn the results that you get. All right, so that's the video. If you want one-on-one help scaling your online coaching business only for online coaches, click the link below. I have an offer for you where I work with you one-on-one to actually help scale your coaching business. So click the link if you are interested. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.